Hello and welcome back to another time trial video. This week takes us over to Austria. We're going to the Red Bull Ring at Spielberg in Austria, and we're also going to be driving an incredibly iconic car. But first of all, let's get into talking about the track. So the circuit length is 4.31 kilometers. In a normal Formula 1 race, they would do 71 laps, and that brings the distance up to 306 kilometers that they would travel in a Formula 1 car. And the max speed around there is around 330 kilometers per hour. Average temperature around race time is around 23 degrees, and yeah, time zone wise, they're just an hour ahead of us. But obviously in the sim world, that doesn't really matter because we're all wherever we need to be and can jump on a server. Now, moving on to the car, and the car that we are driving this week is just incredibly iconic. Driven by Ayrton Senna for 8 races, and it's the Lotus 98T. John Player special livery, one of the only cars to have that. And brake horsepower wise, we're over 1,000. We're got a 800 newton meters torque, and the car weighs 523 kilograms. And yeah, max speed, it can go at 330 kilometers per hour according to the model that we're using in the simulator. So it's pretty important to remember that we're not going off the actual stats of the real life car here. We're using a downloaded mod on the server, to complete our laps. So I'm going off those stats. If there is different stats for the actual real life car, I apologize, and obviously those are correct. Now, first lap is pretty mental. We've come from the MX-5 last week, which only had 160 horsepower, and to a car this week that's got 1,000 plus. So the turbo kicking in and everything like that, you might see my face go a wee bit, and I'm pretty silent through these laps because I'm just trying so hard to concentrate on actually not binning it. So without further ado, let's get into the first lap. Okay, so lap 1 was a 1:24.194. Not ideal. As you can see, I hope you have a bit of a realization now of how difficult this car is to drive, how you have to be very smooth across the accelerator, and not too hard on the brakes because they're quite small. It probably doesn't look it, but it is fun in the sense that it's making your brain work. And obviously the next lap is a lot faster. So what I've done this week is I've put the first lap as a very early lap in the actual process of me getting the car on the server. So that was only about the third lap in I'd done. It's very ropey. I'm kind of still testing out what is achievable with my skill set. Obviously there's guys on the server who flying past me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could muster that first evening. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the fastest lap that I've done this week. Again, it's not going to look pretty. I think I have been very lucky in the past where I've played games where there's been a lot of AI input and computer input or the programs, and there's been certain helpings on traction control, etc. And I'm trying to learn to not use those kind of things because I want as an authentic an experience as I can get, of actually driving the car. So let's go on and stop listening to me. But I hope you do have some sort of appreciation that this car is quite difficult to drive. And yeah, let's see the fastest lap for this week. And I'll get a quick chat with you. We'll conclude everything afterwards. One full chop. Let's go. Oh my goodness, I'm into the 119s. That is so random. How did that happen? So as you can tell there from my tone of surprise, I don't even know how I managed to break the 120 mark. That was kind of like my goal for the whole week, was to just try and get into the 119s. As I have edited this video, there's the difference between 2 laps is just night and day. The initial one, just very clunky, not really turning in at the right time and things like that, as where when you look at the second lap. Now, by no means is that the fastest lap. I think the fastest lap on the server is 1 minute 13, but these are proper drivers. So for somebody who's like me, who just wants to have a bit of crack and try and improve the driving in the simulator, I think it's a decent enough time, and I'm happy with it this week. So moving on for next week, we have obviously the race tomorrow. That'll be live hopefully on Twitch if I'm taking part. I know there's rugby on at the same time, but I think it's just the French and the Italians playing, so we'll try and get that live on Twitch. And then we'll have our new car ready for us on Monday. The other content that should be coming out will be either live streams or videos for the golf as well. So if you're interested in that, maybe stick around, subscribe, and you will be able to see it as it comes out. If you did like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and hit me up in the comments if you have any advice for me moving forward in the sim racing space and any tips or tricks you might have. But that's all for this video, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.